The World Health Organization warned of a huge biological risk after Sudanese fighters seized the National Public Health Laboratory in the capital Khartoum as foreign nations raced to mount rapid evacuation efforts from the country and violence punctured a fragile US brokered ceasefire. Gunfire and the roar of fighter jets was heard in Khartoum half a day after the announcement of a 72-hour truce raised hopes of opening up escape routes for civilians desperate to flee. Heavy clashes erupted between the Sudanese military and the Rapid Support Forces, the paramilitary group battling the army for control of the country in the northern part of Khartoum state. The two warring sides accused each other of violating the agreement. The number of people killed in Sudan since violence broke out 11 days ago has reached at least 459, the World Health Organization said, with at least 4,072 people injured. Days ahead of Chinese Defense Minister Li Shangfu's planned visit to India, the militaries of the two countries held a fresh round of high-level talks to resolve issues at the remaining friction points in eastern Ladakh as the border row spills over to the fourth year. The 18th round of military talks between India and China took place at the Chushul-Moldo border meeting point on the Chinese side of the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh. While the Indian delegation was led by Lieutenant General Rashan Bali, an officer of the same rank, led the talks from the Chinese side from the local theatre command. India and China have been engaged in a military standoff for the last 3 years and both the nations have deployed heavy troops in the eastern Ladakh sector. The Chinese have been struggling their air and ground forces in the area opposite Ladakh, with new airfields and military garrisons coming up to tackle Indian preparedness. India has been regularly deploying newer radars and air defense systems in the eastern Ladakh sector to tackle any Chinese misadventure. Azerbaijan has set up a checkpoint on the only road in or out of the disputed region of Nagorno-Karabakh, sparking fears for its ethnic Armenian population and reports of new firefights along the shared border. In a statement issued, the Azerbaijani Foreign Ministry said that the work has begun to establish control along the Lachen Corridor, the sole highway that links the breakaway territory to Armenia. According to officials, the move is intended to stop the rotation of personnel of Armenian armed forces that continue to be illegally stationed in the territory of Azerbaijan, the transfer of weapons and ammunition, entrance of terrorists, as well as illicit trafficking of natural resources. Following a war between the two sides over Nagorno-Karabakh in 2020, the Lachen Corridor has been under the jurisdiction of Russian peacekeeping forces as part of a Moscow-backed ceasefire agreement. In December, self-described Azerbaijani environmental activists with the support of the government in Baku pushed past the wire fencing and began blocking the road as part of what they claimed was a protest over illegal mining. A magnitude 7.3 earthquake rocked the Kermadec Islands region near New Zealand earlier this week, the United States Geological Survey said. The quake was at a depth of 10 kilometers. A tsunami threat was predicted by the US Tsunami Warning System following the earthquake. Last month, an earthquake measuring 7.1 on the Richter scale struck the Kermadec Islands. New Zealand is prone to earthquakes as it is located on the boundary of the two of the world's major tectonic plates, the Pacific Plate and the Australian Plate. It is also on the edge of a zone of intense seismic activity known as the Ring of Fire. Every year, thousands of earthquakes shake New Zealand. Noted Pakistani columnist and author Tariq Fateh passed away on Monday after a prolonged battle with cancer, his daughter confirmed. Fateh, who lived in Canada, was 73. Lion of Punjab, son of Hindustan, lover of Canada, speaker of truth, fighter for justice, voice of the downtrodden, underdogs and the oppressed. Tariq Fateh has passed the baton on. His revolution will continue with all who knew and loved him. Will you join us? 1949 to 2023, Natasha Fateh tweeted. Fateh was born in Pakistan in 1949 and migrated to Canada in the early 1980s. In Canada, he worked as a political activist, journalist, and television host and authored several books, including Chasing a Mirage, The Tragic Illusion of an Islamic State, and The Jew is Not My Enemy, unveiling the myths that fuel Muslim anti-Semitism. Fateh, who had a huge social media following, was known for his progressive views on Islam and his fiery stance on Pakistan. He also received threats from radical forces due to his views. Tata Sons chairman Ratan Tata has been conferred with Australia's highest civilian honour, the country's High Commissioner to India Barry O'Farrell announced on Twitter. The Order of Australia award was presented for the industrialist's effort in strengthening the India-Australia bilateral relations. The foreign diplomat shared pictures from the ceremony and added that Tata's contribution have led to lasting impact on the island nation. He wrote, Ratan Tata is a titan of biz, industry and philanthropy, not just in India, but his contributions have also made a significant impact on Australia. Delighted to confer Order of Australia honour to Ratan Tata in recognition of his long-standing commitment to the Australian and Indian relationship. Iran seized a US-bound oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman. The waters where the US-bound ship was seized near the Strait of Hormuz are a choke point for at least a third of the world's seaborne oil. Masked Iranian Navy commandos conducted a helicopter-borne raid to seize a US-bound oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman. Footage aired by Iran's state television showed. A Marshall Islands flagged oil tanker was seized by the Iranian Army's naval force in the Persian Gulf after it collided with an Iranian boat in the Gulf of Oman and tried to flee, read the Iranian Army statement. In a statement issued earlier, the US Navy had said that Iranian naval forces had seized the Advantage Fleet oil tanker while it had been transiting international waters in the Gulf of Oman. The Iranian government should immediately release the oil tanker, the Bahrain-based US Fifth Fleet added, denouncing Iran's continued harassment of vessels and interference with navigational rights in regional waters.